It just feels better when the Padres get a win, finally. 5-3. I know they just took 3 out of 4 against the Diamondbacks, but it's just one of those where it felt like it's been a while since the Padres offense was able to score a good amount of runs. They scored 5 runs tonight. It was the Fernando Tatis Jr. show, 3 runs driven in. I got to give a shout out to a few guys, but Jake Cronenworth coming through gave the Padres the first lead with his, I think it was a triple down the line. Then Tatis comes through again to give insurance to make it 5-3. Hader got the save, allowed a couple runners, but he gets the save. Brett Sullivan, by the way, was behind the plate, so congrats to him finishing that one off on the pop-up. But it was good to see Tatis have a big impact there. I know he was on a hitting streak, I think, like the first 3 games, or the last 3 games of the Diamondback series, but the average was low, wasn't making a huge impact offensively. But tonight, I mean, he was a huge reason, maybe the biggest, why the Padres were able to get the win. Michael Wacha, I thought he pitched fine. I saw some encouraging signs. He was hitting his spots more. I mean, I said on my pregame thoughts that I thought that Wacha was going to have to hit his spots if he wasn't going to get smacked around like he had in the previous 2 outings, and that's pretty much what he did. The first 2 runs he gave up maybe shouldn't have even been runs that he allowed, because Azokar, he had a bad route to a ball, didn't get it, and then he gave up a home run. And then the final run that he gave up, that 3rd run, it wasn't hit very hard. So I liked where Michael Wacha was at tonight. And then huge shout out to Nick Martinez coming in after him. First relief outing of the year after he dominated the Braves, right? 7 innings. That was last Wednesday. So yeah, it's been a while since Nick had pitched. And he goes 3 shutout innings. I mean, he was working fast, which that was obviously great. Didn't, I mean, the hitters allowed Nick to get in a rhythm. Nick did not allow the Cubs offense to get really in a rhythm because he kept going, kept working. So I like that. Nick, I'm not surprised that he delivered this outing. I mean, we saw the impact that he was able to give the Padres bullpen last year. So he'll go back and forth, I think. At some point, he'll be back in the rotation because the Padres can't have Seth Lugo be starting the entire year after he was a reliever last year, and he's been a reliever for, the last few years now. So that point will come. But it was encouraging to see that performance out of Nick. It makes the bullpen stronger. And then shout out to Ha-Seong Kim as well tonight. I don't know if he's going to get a ton of attention after tonight's win because Fernando's the one that had the 3 RBIs, but Kim made a great play late in the game, ball up the middle. I think it was to Xander's side of second base, but he makes the play like on the outfield grass, diving stop, flips it to Xander, keeps a runner out of scoring position. This was when Nick was still on the mound before Hader came in. And then for that insurance run, that 5th run, he gets on, and then he steals second base, he steals second base, and then he ends up scoring on that Tatis single. So he had a good night, multi-hit game from him. Yeah, Soto, still not Soto, and Manny had some really weird swings tonight. May have hit a home run if they weren't playing in those conditions at Wrigley, but still not himself. But look, baby steps here, right? Fernando, he is starting to get going, at least tonight he did, and that's a good sign, and it seems like he's getting more comfortable in the outfield. And I wasn't hearing very many of those chants tonight. It's a whole lot easier to be chanting when your team's winning than when Fernando is having a huge impact on your team losing, right? I'm talking to Cubs fans. So, series finale tomorrow. Good to get a win because now the Padres can hopefully win the series tomorrow, rubber match tomorrow, before the off day, before that Mexico City series.